Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to do this look right here, which is kind of a hybrid of the makeup look I did for my sister's wedding like 2 years ago. Almost 2 years ago. And then just a couple different little things that I did. Also stick around because there is going to be a little bit of tea spilling and I might shed a tear or two. Love that for me. Anyways, if you guys want to see how I got this look, go ahead and keep on watching. Okay, we're gonna start off, and I'm sorry, I know these curlers in my hair might get annoying, but they complete the end results to my bangs and the top of my hair. So we're just gonna leave it like that because I know if I clip it, it's just not gonna be it. It's not gonna be it. Okay, so not gonna lie, at first I didn't know what I was gonna film, but looking at a palette that I have here on my counter, I was like, I know exactly what to film. So the look I'm going to be filming today is probably one of my all-time favorite looks, that if I need a very easy look that looks very put together, this is my go-to. This is also the look I did for my sister's wedding, which I don't think I took any makeup pictures, but this is the look I did for my sister's wedding, on myself and on her, and I did a variation on my grandma. Yeah, I think whoever I did makeup on that day, we all had the same eye look, but that's mainly because it was just going for like a glowy, bronzy look. Again, I don't know how glowy or bronzy this is gonna look because as you can see, your girl is very fair right now. Again, I don't get very tanned in the summer anyways, so we're just gonna roll with it. On my eyebrows, I have the e.l.f. eyebrow pencil and then the NYX the brow glue, and then a little bit of the Anastasia brow pomade. And let me just say, those three together, chef's kiss, my friend. So any of the products I use are going to be listed down below. Again, if I miss anything, I'm sorry. Hopefully I don't miss anything. I'm gonna start by priming my eyelids with the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. This one I like for priming my eyelids. The other one tends to crease on me. This one does not. All the colors I'm going to be taking is actually from one palette. This one is The Warriors by Juvia's Place. I think it's still called Juvia's Place if I'm not mistaken. But this palette I bought right before, a couple months before my sister's wedding. And this is what I ended up using on myself and on her. And it has a lot of very pretty colors. Her wedding again was in the summer. And so she was going for a very glowy look. And then these are the colors that are in here. Again, I'm pretty fair, but for that day I did tan, so it might look a little darker than it usually does. But this is the exact same look I did on basically anyone whose makeup I did that day. So the first thing I'm going to take is this color called, what is this called? O.C.? O.C.? I think it's called Aussie. O.C.? I don't know how you say it. But it's this lighter color in the palette, and as you can see, it is one of my most used. And I'm just going to go ahead and place that on my brow bone and then just all the way down to my crease. Anyways, I just remember that I never really filmed a look on my sister's wedding, and I don't know why, because I don't know, why was I not recording or filming anything during that year? I don't know. That was also like the first year of COVID, so my sister did get married during COVID time. So again, it was just very crazy, hectic time for everyone. But yeah, her wedding was so beautiful. I really don't, have I just never talked about my sister's wedding? Because I feel like I should have filmed this look. I remember we were looking for like one palette that we could use all the colors from that palette and not have to worry about like packing a bunch of colors. And so this is the one palette I took, and then I think I just ended up using a highlighter as well, like on the side. But for the most part, it was just this palette, and this is the exact same technique I used. So like I said, I put this lighter color all from the brow bone all the way down to the crease. The next color I'm going to take is Camo, which is this like bronzy brown color right here. And I just take it on a very big fluffy brush. Again, you got to work with what you've got. But also, if you have smaller eyelids, I would take a smaller brush. I just so happen to have a very large lid space. So if I was to take a smaller brush, it might take me a little longer. But if you have smaller eyelids, that would work just fine. So all I'm going to do is pretty much a halo eye with this colors. But I'm just going to place that Camo color on the outer corner of the eye. And then also on the inner corner of the eye. And then the rest I'm just gonna buff out and buff into my crease. And it's just gonna, again, give us a halo eye is what we're going for. If you get a little bit in the middle, it's fine. You just want to kind of leave that little spot empty. The way I know where to place my colors is I look just straight ahead in the mirror, and you just place the colors on the outside of the center of your eye. I know other people do it differently. Some people will shift it a little more this way. Some people will shift it a little more this way. I just like to do it in the center. Like just when I'm looking straight ahead, that's where I'm not going to place any color. And I'm just going to do the same thing again to the other eyelid. And like I said, this is one of the easiest looks because it didn't take that long and it was just all about blending. And again, I'm just buffing out all the colors. You just really have to like work on the blending, and that's really it. This color is like a really pretty color. And that is like basically it for that part. I just kind of like, again, go back in. You're just blending up towards the eyebrow, blending the inner areas. Again, this is like such an easy look that you really just need to know how to blend. The next thing is kind of what changes, because if you have a lighter skin tone or a darker skin tone, the variation is going to come here. So if you have a darker skin tone, I would say go with this color called Amina. Again, it's still a shimmer color, but it's a little bit darker, and I feel like it just complements darker tones. The color I'm going to use on my eye is Morami. I think that's how you say it. It's the middle color right here. It is just like a lighter champagne-y color, and I'm just going to take that on my finger if my nails allow it. And I'm just going to plop that color right in the center of the eyelid. And then I'm just going to blend the edges out with my brush. And then just, again, with whatever I have left still on my finger, place it again, take the brush, blend out the edges. You kind of just play that like back and forth game. And then again, and then just one more time. I usually do that like 3 times. And that has now created a little halo eye there. I'm going to do the same thing to the other eye now. And then for me right now that I'm a little bit of a lighter skin tone, I am going to take just a little bit of a lighter highlighting color. The color that I usually go with is Cookie by Benefit. This is one of my favorite like shimmery shadows to put. So I'm just going to take a like flat, what is this? It's a flat concealer brush by Lexi. And usually if I want to be extra, I will wet my brush. If not, I will just take it like that and plop it in the middle. Again, this color is a little bit lighter, so it'll give a little bit more contrast, but I do just like to do kind of a little bit of a layering effect. The next thing, I'll just take a smaller, again, rounded blending brush and go into the dark color called Mino, and I will just take a little bit, and then I'm just going to focus this on the outer corner of my eyelid and in my crease. I'm not going to focus too much on bringing it in because I really just want it to just like pull my eye out this way. And then I'm just going to go towards like the end of where we place that lighter color. And then I'm going to go in with the same big blending brush and just blend that out. That way we don't bring too much darkness into the inner corner. If you're wondering why I'm not talking, I'll be talking more towards like the foundation and concealer time, just because like I feel like I can't talk when I'm doing my eyeshadow. I feel like I have to concentrate. So this is like kind of like a halo eye, kind of like a smoky-ish eye. I don't know, I think it's a little subtler than a smoky eye, but like a step up from a halo eye. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with my face products. Should I go in with M.A.C? I haven't used my M.A.C foundations in like forever. I think I was telling my cousin this, that I feel like my foundations are like literally lasting me like forever. And yeah, that's because half of the time when I go out, I'm wearing a mask. And why am I going to put foundation on under a mask, you know? The only times I've ever worn like actual foundation was like if I was going out on a date, if I was like a special event, like a wedding or like something bigger like that. But like besides that, I wasn't using foundation. So in meditating, like just about like relationships in general and just like life, I was in my mind, not in my mind. I was, well, yeah, in my mind, I was talking to myself and I was saying like, oh, like, I don't know if I am going to be able to like put myself back out there again. Like, I hate the like repeated like putting yourself out there and like energy not being matched, you know. I had made a TikTok that I think I shared it, and it was like back in June, I think, and it was like pretty much I just said like I hate going through talking phases and like it not leading anywhere, or like being in a relationship and it ending. Like I just hate it. But I would do it like a million times if that meant at the end of the day I could find my person. And I was going again through my TikToks the other day. Before I continue, I'm gonna be using the Mercier foundation primer. It is a radiant primer. Again, I'm just going for like a nice glowy look today. And this is very like, it does add a ton of luminance, you'll see right now. Let me just finish putting it on. Anyways, I was telling myself like, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can like try to put myself out there and it not end in a good way for me. And like I said, I went back on my TikTok, and lo and behold, like honestly, sometimes I feel like if I'm the only one that watches my TikToks, that's fine because I find myself entertaining. I was going through a TikTok and like I said, it said something about how like I hate going through talking stages and through like just like dating apps and like when you're trying to like, you know, find your person. Like I hate it, but I would do it a million times if that meant that at the end of the day I could find my person. Ew, and I feel like I want to cry. Whoa. But that is so true, for me at least. Oh, we're not gonna cry about this. Because I have, oh my gosh. Stop, we're not gonna cry. Because I know, ew. Sorry, this is also another thing I've been working on, letting myself cry. Whew. I did not think I was gonna get emotional in this video, okay, but I am just such a hopeless romantic that if you're not my person, I'm fine with that, you know, but my person's out there. So like for me, like yeah, breakups or whatever, or you know, again, talking phases like ending or not going right, or like, you know, all that, like I just know my person is out there, and I know that when I find them and when it's like the real thing, like it's gonna be amazing. Pooey. I'm trying to do my makeup here, okay? But I just know, like I sense it and I feel it, and I know that like whoever my person is, like I'm gonna be blessed to have them in my life and they're gonna be blessed to have me in their life. And I know that it's just gonna work. Does that make sense? Like I've always told myself that when it's the right person, it's gonna be easy. And like that's on my list. Like it's just gonna be easy and it's not gonna be complicated. But I just feel like I'll know when it's my person, you know what I mean? And like my person would know I'm their one. I don't know, is that like so cliche of me to think that way? But I think I just hold relationships to like such a high standard that I just know it's gonna be amazing. Does that make sense? Anyways, if I'm a hopeless romantic, please burst my bubble. But I just know like with my person, it's gonna be right. Does that make sense? Now I have to try and wipe all these tears off. But anyways, I think that's what gets me like through like any like relationship, situationship, all that. And it's funny too because like I also from TikTok, there was this girl that said like, if someone else realizes that you're not their person before you do, that is like a blessing in disguise, because eventually you would have had to come to terms with that, you know? So yeah, like if you're not my person, like yes, please step aside. Let me find my man's, the real one. But anyways, I just think there's like such beauty in like relationships and significant others. And like I said, I think I just hold relationships to such a high standard that that's why a lot of people don't make it past like the talking phase with me, because I just phase them out really quickly. So like with my past breakup, Like, okay, yeah, he discovered it before I did. And that's okay. That's okay. That just means that my person is still somewhere out there doing the work. Again, the funny thing I always think is like, Lord, if my significant other is out there, like, please keep him single until he finds me. And then at the same time, I'm like, man, this guy's probably praying the exact same thing. Please don't. Please don't. Let your girl have fun. Just kidding. Ew, I did not think I was gonna cry. But again, that is something that I'm working on. They always say like relationships magnify like each other's flaws. And I think that is very true, because I think for me, like, that is one of my biggest things. Like, I'm not a very emotional person. I am very guarded with my feelings. Like, you know what I mean? So that is something that this relationship kind of helped me learn, like, just to be more emotional, more vulnerable. Just ask my mom, ask her the amount of times I've cried in front of her, which I don't normally do. Again, I'm not one of the people that is like, I'm not a cry person, I'm not a cry girl. Like, I'm not a very emotional person, okay? So yeah, that is definitely something that this last relationship definitely brought out. And again, it's something that I'm still working on. As you can see, I'm like trying to stop myself from crying, but there's nothing wrong with crying. Anyways, I don't even know if any of that footage is gonna make it in, because I might just delete it. And if you saw it, great. If you didn't, also great. But like, another thing that I love is that I've always been someone who's like constantly growing. I don't know if that makes sense or not. I'm always trying to learn, whether it's like, again, something that I'm actually doing or like reading a book. Anyways, I've been reading a lot of books lately, but more in like audiobooks. What did I finish reading? I finished reading the entire Bridgerton series. Hello. I also, what is the other, I read another book. I think it's called like Think Like a Man. I don't know. I don't remember what it's called. It's by Steve Harvey. That's also a very good book. But there's just something really good about like learning when you're not in a relationship, to learn like about relationships and how other people deal with things and cope with things, and not expecting other people to think the same way you do, or to cope with things the same way you do. That's something that I've always known, but it's great to read. I think the next book I'm ready to read is, what is it, the Love Languages book, or the five Love Languages book. After that, I have no idea what I'm gonna read. So if you have any good relationship book recommendations, please leave those down below. Again, I'm just trying to like learn about like healing yourself and like different things like that. And you know what's funny, that I don't have like a lot of like trauma when it comes to like my family or like the way I was raised or anything like that. With like, I'm very grateful for that. I'm more traumatized. Wow, that sounds very like extreme, right? The times that I've gotten hurt have been more by friends than it has been by family, you know? So I think that's where my traumas are. And like, I mean, if you don't already know, I was homeschooled, but I still had friends outside of that. And there was still certain situations that I'm scarred from. And now I'm scarring you by looking like this. I'm just kidding. And I don't know if I've ever talked about this before, which maybe that's something I should talk about on here. Yeah, I don't know if I should do a story time, if I should just tell the story here. But one of my best friends, obviously not anymore, she was like low-key manipulative. And again, I was naive enough to like not even notice. But now that I look back at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, girl, you were so manipulated. Yeah, there were situations where and that's also like one of my biggest pet peeves, when like friends who you don't talk to, or people that you don't talk to, when they try to talk to you, it's just because they need something or they want something from you. One of my biggest pet peeves of all time. Anyways, I'm not going to talk about that anymore, because I feel like that could just be a whole other video in itself. But like, my priorities when I was growing up was not boys. My priority was school and just like other things, like extracurricular activities. It was never boys. Sorry, my camera died. I'm literally alternating camera or like batteries. So one battery is charging while the other, I'm using the other one. And then this one's gonna die and then I'll switch back to the other one and then I'll keep doing that until I finish recording all the videos I need to do. Anyways, I just saw my face with the Laura Mercier setting powder. I don't know why I did that because like I'm really just getting ready to clean or to stay here. Like I'm not really like going anywhere. It is 9:46 p.m. So I just set that. Honestly, I have not used this foundation in ages, but my skin looks so nice. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up, but I feel like my pores are like, what pores? What pores? I just let everything kind of bake for a little bit. Ooh, this color, great choice. Anyways, like I said, I am your girl's a hopeless romantic. She will be searching for her man for as long as she has to because I'm not one to go to clubs. I'm not one to go to bars. So we'll see. Honestly, like it's gonna be the biggest plot twist to me is like I end up meeting like my person like somewhere very like random. I am just going in because the bronzer I used was already pretty dark. I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of the Sundance bronzer by Rimmel, just because I feel like this will add a little bit of shimmer to my cheekbones. Again, I'm still going for like that glowy luminescence kind of look. I'm still going for that like glowy luminescence type of look, and the Laura Mercier primer is really helping with that. You know what's funny too? I've already come to the conclusion, which it's funny because I used to say this before all the time. I would say it jokingly that no one was going to meet whoever I was dating until I was engaged. And my mind is now set to that. So, dear whoever you are, you're not meeting any of my family until I'm engaged. Thank you so much. I'm just kidding. I think that might be a little unrealistic. But there's a song. What is that song called? It's a country song, okay? But it's basically saying like you're gonna break more hearts than mine. Like I'll take you home, you'll meet my mom and you'll meet my dad and we'll go to church on Sunday and you know, like my dad's gonna treat you nice and like my whole family is gonna really like you. So if you break my heart, you end up breaking everyone else's heart because you know, they all are kind of looking forward to like you being in a relationship. And I feel like that's low-key how it was for me. I don't think I've said this before, and if any of my family is watching, I'm sorry. But like I understand that song now because yeah, like I feel like everyone was just so excited. And it's like not like that they're let down because obviously I didn't really elaborate much on anything that happened. I just said, you know, like we're not together, you know? But I just remember like my grandma's reaction. They told her on Thanksgiving Day. She just came over. She didn't even ask me anything. I didn't say anything. Because one, I knew that if I said something to my grandma, she was gonna make me cry. But I think my mom ended up telling her and she was just looking at me with eyes of love. Does that make sense? So it's just nice knowing that your family or my family is there for me like through anything, which I mean, I've always known that. But it's nice that they were there for me. I don't think I've shared that. But anyways, I'm taking the Luminoso blush. Now I feel like I'm a little bit emotional, but not like sad emotional. Like just like grateful, thankful, happy that I'm like blessed with the family I have. And like my support group is like amazing. So yeah, when I told my goddaughters, it was so funny because she was like, oh my gosh. If I could see him one more time, what did she say? I'd let him have it. And I really have to like I had to tell her like, no, like it wasn't like that. Like he's still a great person. And it's so funny because like to everyone I have to still be like, oh, well, he was a nice person. Like it wasn't bad. It just didn't work out. You know, what can I say? I can't force someone to love me. So yeah, but again, this just makes me excited for like when it is my actual person, like just everyone's reactions and like how everyone's gonna just be like, I don't know. I feel like they're all gonna again be excited for me and that just makes me happy. The same like when I was posting things about, you know, like being in a relationship, a lot of people were just like happy for me and like, oh, like congratulations, like, oh, it's so nice that you're happy or like, you know, things like that. And like, again, when things ended, it wasn't like I could be like, oh, he's a bad person. It's a very interesting position to be in. But like now that I see it like a couple months later, like I'm like, okay, yeah, like, I guess I could see where you were coming from, that it wouldn't have worked. Like, okay, like, I'm healed from it. Does that make sense? Like, obviously, like, you're still a little sad, but it's like you heal from it. But again, that's like with any relationship. I feel like relationships from like back in the day, like you still think like, oh, like, you know why it didn't work, or, you know, like, I can tell you now, like, looking back to like previous relationships, like why this one wouldn't have worked, why this one didn't work, you know, like I can see that now, but like in the moment I couldn't. So like, I'm sure like in a couple months or in a couple years, I'm gonna be like I'll look back at this and I'll look back at this situation and be like, oh, that's why it didn't work. You know what I mean? Now that I'm done with the blush, I'm gonna go ahead and add highlighter. I'm just gonna go in, I'm gonna switch it up a little. I'm gonna go in with the M.A.C SELENA highlighter because this one is glowy. Again, I'm just going for a very glowy look today. Where am I going? Nowhere. But I feel like I just feel like looking glowy today, okay? I have not tight lined my eyes in forever. So I'm just gonna go in again with a little bit more of that black color, or this like dark brown color, and just use it to kind of help smudge out this lower lash line area now. This was also the lip color I did for my sister's wedding. I used Pillow Talk. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of True Brown K all around the edges, and hope I don't mess up my entire lips. And then lastly, I'm gonna use the same Pillow Talk gloss that goes with this. Well, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Again, don't forget to check out my social media. They're always linked down below. I post more consistently on like Instagram and TikTok, so if you guys want funnier content, go ahead down there. And like always, I will see you on the next one. Bye, guys. Well. Why, fiddle-dee-dee. Let's see what pops up for the dance party. Y'all, if they wanted me to continue crying, yeah, play this song again. I can't with myself, okay. I don't know what love is. Okay, we're done. My hair looks so dark in the camera right now. Like, is that for reals? I'm over here thinking, my hair is so light. Today, I swear, I don't know how to talk sometimes. Oh my gosh. Hello?
I'm flying high, but I got a feeling I'm falling for nobody else.